that we are in the most worker-friendly environment that we've been in a very long time, and it's important that we not let our foot off the gas and keep the momentum going. So with that, I'm going to bring up Dan Justice for our closing. I do want to take the time to thank Bill Fletcher, who's still here tonight. Bill Fletcher has been here with us all day long. Bill, I think you did one of my first union classes back in the day, many years ago. I think Jose Soler brought you in, and you did one of my first classes, and I thank you for that class, and I thank you for all the classes that you've done, helping to inspire and teach new union people to do the work that they do. We thank you for all your talent and all your treasures that you have shared with us. We really appreciate you being here, and we welcome you down to the South Coast as much as you want to be down here, because we can use your power and your knowledge, brother, let me tell you. So Bill, thank you again. But I want to introduce Dan Justice to close us out tonight. We're honored to have Dan Justice here. He is, our AFL national field rep for the Northeast region. Dan, he's one of us. He's a rank and filer. He was on the shop floor leading in a factory in Vermont, and then became an organizer with the New England Joint Board. He was an organizer with AFT in Massachusetts, and then went to work for the AFL-CIO in 2010 as a national field representative here in the Northeast region. Lately, because of staff limitations, Dan has been sent to many electoral hotspots, among them Kentucky in 2023 for the governor's successful campaign, Pennsylvania, Georgia in 2020, I should say, New Hampshire, Maine, Alabama, and even was lucky enough to work on Boston Marty Walsh's mayoral campaign. He lives in New Hampshire, but he's never been far. He's always here with us. We appreciate you for all that you do to support our Labor Council, Dan, in our state. Thank you for being here to give us a great closing.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm glad to be here this evening on behalf of the National AFL-CIO. The exciting events of the day continue to cement the relationship between labor and the civil rights movements, recognizing leaders in their respective communities is wholly on the level of the AFL-CIO policy. This gathering reinforces the Federation's inseparable relationship with the civil rights movement and the commitment of the Federation and its affiliates to equality. In wrapping up tonight's gathering, let me comment on the awards and the recognition you have given. First, Reverend Dr. Barber, a convener of the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. This is a powerful campaign for which Dr. Barber, Reverend Barber, has been an essential influence with his clarity of voice and deeply felt expression. The AFL-CIO has been a committed participant in the campaign and is proud that the labor movement here is part of our participation. Then, in a much-deserved award, our Central Labor Council here has recognized the tireless activism of Cindy Rodericks. Cindy is an old friend. She's my union mom, and I love her dearly. I couldn't be happier that we all get a chance to say thanks and a job well done to our beloved leader. And in keeping with the theme of these remarks, the Central Labor Council and our new president, Lisa Lemieux, are close and careful agents of the National AFL-CIO policy and programs. The performance of this council in that respect, owing in great measure to the long leadership of Sister Rodericks, has been nothing short of outstanding. Thank you, Cindy. As I learn more about the Workers' Education Program and the leadership of Ms. Jocham, I am deeply impressed with the work done there. The university, the Labor Ed Center, the program staff are and should be proud of their work and enormously grateful to Ms. Jocham for her dedication. The AFL-CIO strongly supports this type of assistance to the workers who need it. We're also recognizing a man who has led the statewide AFL-CIO for an incredible 12 years, Steve Tolman, another friend and brother. President Tolman has made the Commonwealth a better place for the workers through his exhaustive work in that time. Through countless election cycles, far-reaching legislative campaigns, and street-level actions on behalf of unions and their fights, Steve has brought new meaning to the term solidarity for Massachusetts. The AFL-CIO welcomes newly elected President Chrissy Lynch and Secretary-Treasurer Kevin Brusso to their new positions, leading our organization in Massachusetts, and we look forward to working closely with them. If you noticed, my remarks have been meant to show that the AFL-CIO, under the leadership of President Liz Schuler and Secretary-Treasurer Fred Redmond, is strongly supportive of the work done by the leaders you have recognized tonight. Our policies embrace their historical efforts. We credit the great land-grant university, its labor education center, and the Central Labor Council for making the interests of working people a priority. Workers and their unions in this region, I know it well, and I've been engaged in the struggle for fairness and equality for generations. This council has been in the struggle for fairness and equality for generations. For every difficult time, there have been great accomplishments. And like the creation of the Labor Education Center through the efforts of the leaders like Arnold and Barbara Dubin, the Exafaris family, Harry Dunham, Nick Russos, Richard Fonterra, George Ripley, the list goes on. We honor those triumphs and those of tonight's honorees. You can be sure that the AFL-CIO will continue to support this good work here and around the country. When we fight, we win. Thank you.
Drive safe, everybody. Have a great night.